What made you quit gaming forever? I started playing Call of Duty with my dad when I was 12. We bonded over late-night sessions, strategizing through multiplayer matches while mom brought us snacks. Dad wasn't just good, he was exceptional, consistently ranking in the top 1% globally. I idolized him for it. Every weekend became our sacred gaming time, and he'd patiently teach me tricks that took his squad years to master. By 15, I was holding my own against his friends, all military veterans who played with surgical precision. They nicknamed me Junior and invited me to their private tournaments. Dad beamed with pride when I clutched a 5 versus 1 situation during a championship match. Joy faded. Whispers of neglect replaced our sacred gaming nights, then all gone. Things escalated when Dad's boss showed up at our door one Tuesday afternoon. I answered since both parents were supposedly at work. The man looked uncomfortable, asking if my father was home. Before I could answer, Dad appeared behind me in sweatpants, clearly having just woken up. His boss said something about a final warning and a 2-week suspension without pay. That night, I overheard the worst fight my parents ever had. Mom screamed about mortgage payments and college funds while Dad yelled back about finding his passion after decades of meaningless work. The next morning, Dad announced he'd been recruited by a semi-professional team. He showed us the email offering him $500 monthly to stream and compete. Mom laughed in disbelief, pointing out that amount wouldn't cover even our grocery bill. Dad stormed out, and I heard his car screech down the driveway. He returned 3 days later without explanation. By then, Mom had moved into the guest bedroom. Dad installed a lock on his gaming room door and virtually disappeared from family life. I'd knock sometimes, hearing him talking to teammates through his headset, but he rarely answered. My own gaming time dwindled as I took over household responsibilities, cooking dinner, helping my younger sister with homework, and making excuses when relatives asked about Dad. 6 months into this new normal, I returned from school to find Mom sitting at the kitchen table with unfamiliar papers spread before her. Divorce documents, she explained, tears streaming down her face. She'd given Dad an ultimatum: get help or she'd leave. He chose the game. That evening, I used my emergency key to enter his gaming sanctuary. The room reeked of unwashed clothes and fast food. Dad sat hunched before 3 monitors, headset clamped over greasy hair, fingers dancing across his keyboard. He didn't notice me until I unplugged his computer. The rage in his eyes when he turned around made me step back. "What the hell are you doing?" he shouted, lunging for the power cord. I held my ground, telling him about the divorce papers. For a moment, concern flashed across his face, quickly replaced by irritation. "She's always been dramatic. We'll talk after this tournament. $20,000 on the line, son." That's when I realized I was looking at a stranger wearing my father's face. I described Mom's tears, my sister's confusion, the missed parent-teacher conferences and family dinners. He checked his phone repeatedly while I spoke, clearly calculating how much game time he was losing. When I finished, he simply said, "Your mother needs to understand this is my career now." I left without another word, closed the door, and never touched a controller again. Dad moved out 2 weeks later to live with teammates in another state. He streams daily to a few hundred viewers, still chasing that professional dream at 47. Sometimes my sister watches his streams just to see his face. 3 years later, I still get text messages from him on my birthday, always the same. "Miss our gaming sessions, Junior. Maybe we can play together sometime." I never respond. The notifications feel like ghosts from another life, one where my hero didn't choose pixels over his family.